every week there is a rotating topic, and I invite people to join to talk about their questions and their experiences using all of the different things on Clubhouse. Today, it so happens to be the features. Prior weeks, we've talked about things like club management, we've talked about collaboration, setting expectations for one another, and how to talk with each other in the room and have a meaningful conversation. And here we have Michelle, who is my new friend, who is going to be helping me out, at least in the beginning. Not sure. She's saying that she could stay for an hour, hopefully. I was just telling people about this room, and hi, Ivan, and hi, Bella. Thanks for being here. So, Michelle, if you would like to just say a little bit about, tell people who you are so they can get to know you, if that's okay.
Sure. Hello, Katie and Bella and Atandra. I'm Michelle. I'm an author and the grief curator, and I host a couple of rooms in Clubhouse. My primary one is the grief curator room, where we talk about all topics around grief and loss. It's a very safe space. And Katie and I actually are going to begin moderating a new room under Food is Religion next week. Excuse me. And our first subject is going to be fried chicken from Savannah to Seoul. So that's going to be interesting under the Food Explorer room. And yes, thank you so much, Katie.
Yeah, thanks, Michelle, for being here. So, from what I'm hearing, you host a few rooms every week, and it's in your club. And also, then soon enough, we will be doing that room together for the first time on Tuesday. Is that right? You host a few times a week. Cool, amazing. Yeah. So, I am Katie, your host here in Modern Chi, the Art of Moderating. This room happens every week. It's much like a office hour for people who are interested in moderating or who do it, every week maybe or bi-monthly. Yeah. And just really want to understand how to make it happen, or maybe there are wins and challenges that people want to share. And now this one is really like the 105th room that I've opened. Some, prior to that, I have also opened some during the week, but you know how life is. And so I just stuck to this schedule where I open it weekly. And then outside of Clubhouse, I have this creative studio, Modern Sheet, where I talk with Asian women, women of color, about their career stories. I also make videos on self-empowerment and motivation and inspiration as well over there. That's all in my Instagram and in the link in the bio. So that's a bit about me, and I hope you are having a good day. And feel free to raise your hand to join us if you want to chat with us about top favorite features, or if you have a general question about moderating that you would like to ask us. I mean, so many things, new things have happened, I guess, maybe in the last month or so, and all I can say is like what I said, where I am, I host this room once a week, and then a few other rooms every week as well, at the moment. And sometimes I pop in and out to people's rooms to say hello and make contributions. So this is my experience or expertise in what I know, and so I don't know everything. So, and you all have your pair of eyes for what you've seen. So that's why we are here. And this is not just like a lecture or presentation from Michelle and I. And also, I have another friend, Wijibi, who is the regular host for this room, and just she happens to be late today, just occupied with some other things she's working on. And another host, Scorpion, who's here too, but she's at a conference as a speaker. So, yeah, so if you have your thoughts and ideas to share with us, please do come and join us. And of course, we have Wanja and Patrick here, and Soleil. Thanks for being here, Dr. June. Now, I think I still kind of maybe because I've been here for a while, I still like the older features like the buddy list. That's like still my favorite, just to see. Sometimes it's kind of takes kind of a lot of time to scroll through the hallway to see what's happening. And it's always nice to see like your friend or people who you have talked to already and seeing where they're at, what they're up to, and then clicking on that to join a room they're in. So sometimes that could be fun and it feels kind of very, it's spontaneous. I don't know who else is there or how how many people's already in there, how long the room has been going. So I still really like that feature. And then now we have the replay, which is cool because I mean, for so long we've done these rooms, and sometimes some people really put in like a ton of work preparing for how the room would go and bringing in special guests, and then but then at the end of the thing is just like gone. But now it can be on your record of like this is what you've done, like this is your body of work that you can direct people towards and show people this is how I usually a sample of your work basically, without it just kind of like disappearing into thin air. And so those are the few things that I still really like. Michelle, what are your thoughts on top favorite features?
Well, I love this new pin a link thing. I'm wondering if you know how they call, the back channel. I'm wondering if they're going to start calling the pin link feature something. I know on Twitter Spaces they call it the nest, and so I'm hoping that, excuse me, somebody here on Clubhouse will come up with a an interesting name for when people pin links to the top of the room, because it can be really helpful, especially if you're talking about certain topics, and you if you have like an offer, like so for instance, I hosted a room this past week on grief and role play, so how to say goodbye to somebody who's dying. And I ended up not doing this, but I could have pinned a link to my Instagram, where I have like the top five ways to say goodbye to somebody who's dying. And so I love that feature now, that you can pin different links either to your Instagram or your Twitter or even to your own website. I think that's a great feature.
Yeah, the that is like so cool. I find I'm still trying to get used to it because I feel like I have to maybe make a list of the links that I do plan to or want to post if I am the lead, because it's just hard for me to manage everything. And then making sure that I do a rotation or grab the link from my notepad or something on my phone so that I can put it up at the right time. And then also maybe go back to it again at another point during the talk. The thing that I found, or I don't know if you have an answer, is that once I do post a link, I can't just make it go away. Like I have to just replace it with another link. Is that what you've noticed too, perhaps?
Yeah, I've noticed that as well. It's I hate to keep going back to Twitter Spaces, but on there it was like a what do you call, it's like a carousel, so that you could scroll through it. Of course there are tweets. But yeah, I hope that they, I mean, I think it's great that they have this feature here on Clubhouse. But it would be cool to see like a carousel feature or a way to take it off, or and instead of just replacing it. But for now, I love it. So yeah. And I think, Katie, you touched on something, a couple of things actually, when you were talking there. One is it's great to have a couple of moderators, so that maybe one person can pin the links and be responsible for that, so that you're not doing everything yourself there in the back, in the behind the scenes. And the other thing was, oh, and now I've lost it. Hmm. Oh, yes, being prepared. I think that that is a really, I know that I do for my rooms. I tend to prepare like a list of bullet points or um things that I want to touch on for that particular topic, whatever it is that we're talking